God says, "My child, this is about your soulmate's ex, prepare to cry." The moment has come for the truth to unfold, and your heart must be ready. Sometimes, the past carries shadows that linger quietly, like whispers in the wind. You may not notice them at first, but they are there, shaping moments, influencing feelings, and guiding your soul toward understanding. Today, those shadows are moving, and the light of truth will shine brightly. You may feel a mix of curiosity, fear, and anticipation. This is natural. The universe is preparing you to see what has always existed, even if it is painful. Your soulmate's past was never hidden to punish you, my child. It was part of a journey, lessons, growth, and the shaping of their heart so that it could be ready for you. And now, the time has come when what once was private will meet the light. Their ex will appear, not necessarily in person, but in energy, memories, and truths that must be recognized. You may notice feelings rising suddenly, flashes of thought, or small signs around you that bring a pang of sadness or surprise. These are not coincidences. They are divine nudges, preparing your heart to process the emotions that are coming. Your soulmate's ex may have left marks on their heart, some gentle, some heavy. And now, you must understand that those marks are not signs of weakness or failure. They are reminders that your soulmate has walked a path, experienced love in different forms, and learned lessons that only life can teach. It is easy for the heart to feel jealous or fearful when the past is revealed. But know this, my child, every tear, every heartbreak, every moment of longing in their past has led them to you. The universe has moved silently, guiding your soulmate's steps until your souls were ready to meet. Perhaps you have already felt this energy around you, the quiet tension in your relationship, the sudden sadness when certain topics appear, or the unexplained emotions that rise when your soulmate talks about the past. These feelings are messages. They are signals that your heart and their heart are about to confront the shadows of the past, not to divide, but to heal. You may feel anger, sadness, or even confusion. These emotions are natural. Allow them to flow. Cry if you need to. Feel the ache of truth, for in feeling, you cleanse your soul and make space for love that is pure, present, and free from old attachments. Do not fear their ex, my child. They are not a threat to your love, they are a part of your soulmate's story, a chapter that has been necessary to shape who they are today. Sometimes, the universe allows you to see what has gone before, so that you can fully appreciate what is now. When you confront this truth, tears will rise, yes, but they are cleansing tears. They will wash away doubts, fears, and insecurity. And when the crying stops, your heart will feel lighter, freer, and more aligned with your soulmate than ever before. You may notice memories or events coming to the surface suddenly. Perhaps a message you were not expecting, a comment that triggers an old feeling, or a situation that makes you feel uneasy. These are not meant to hurt you. They are meant to guide you. The universe has a way of showing us what needs to be seen. Your soulmate's ex is part of that process, not as a threat, but as a teacher, as a signpost leading your heart toward clarity, courage, and truth. Prepare your heart, my child, for emotional waves. The truth about their past may be hard to hear. You may feel tears, sadness, or even moments of jealousy. These feelings are valid. Do not fight them. Do not hide them. Let them flow through you, for in their release, your spirit becomes stronger. Every emotion you feel now is a step toward a love that is pure, honest, and unshakable. The past may have been complicated, but your presence in your soulmate's life is proof that destiny always wins. Your soulmate's heart is now open to you in ways it could never have been before. The experiences of the past, including their ex, have shaped them into the person who is ready to meet you fully. Their heart has learned lessons about love, patience, forgiveness, and resilience. And now, their love for you is not only deep, it is informed by experience, strengthened by understanding, and ready to be shared without fear or hesitation. You may feel a strong pull to know more, to ask questions, or to uncover details about their past. Approach these feelings with care, my child. Curiosity is natural, but your heart must remain centered. Remember, the purpose of these revelations is not to dwell on what has been lost, but to prepare you to embrace what has now arrived. The ex is a mirror of lessons, not a competitor. When you see this clearly, tears will rise not out of sadness alone, but out of relief, understanding, and deep love. In the coming days, you may notice moments where the past and present intersect. A comment, a memory, a person, or even a feeling may surface unexpectedly. These moments are divine signals, calling you to remain compassionate, open, and aware. They are reminders that love is not about erasing the past, but integrating it. By understanding your soulmate's journey fully, including their experiences with their ex, you are preparing your heart to receive love that is honest, unbroken, and eternal. Even now, your spirit knows that tears may come. Perhaps tears of empathy for the journey your soulmate endured. Perhaps tears of recognition that every obstacle, heartbreak, and challenge brought them to this moment with you. These tears are blessings. They cleanse your heart, strengthen your love, and open a sacred space where healing can occur. Do not resist them, my child. Let them flow freely, for in feeling, you are preparing your soul for the depth of love that awaits. The angels are guiding you, holding your heart with gentle care. They remind you that everything that unfolds is divinely orchestrated. The ex, the memories, the emotions, they are all part of a plan to bring truth, clarity, and spiritual alignment. Trust in this process. Your tears, your feelings, and your heartache are not signs of weakness. They are proof that your soul is alive, aware, and ready to embrace the sacred love that destiny has prepared for you. Prepare for the truth to arrive not as a story of loss or betrayal, but as a revelation of growth, lessons, and readiness. The X represents chapters that are now complete, pages that are closing, and experiences that are now transformed into wisdom. You may cry, yes, but you will also feel a new strength, a new courage, and a deeper love for your soulmate. The past is not your enemy, it is the foundation upon which your shared future is built. As you sit quietly and allow these emotions to rise, know this: your presence in your soulmate's life is a miracle. You are here at the perfect time, in the perfect way. The X, the memories, the emotions, they are all part of preparing your hearts to meet fully, without fear, without hesitation, and without shadows. Your tears today are the seeds of tomorrow's joy, the cleansing of old attachments, and the preparation for a love that is eternal. The path ahead will bring more revelations. Some will bring sorrow, others relief, and many will bring understanding. Through it all, remain centered, my child. Trust in your heart, trust in your soulmate, and trust in the divine guidance that surrounds you. The X is not the end, they are a teacher, a lesson, and a stepping stone toward a love that is deeper, truer, and more spiritual than anything you have ever known. And when the tears have passed, when the heart has processed the emotions, and when understanding has settled into your spirit, you will feel a lightness, a liberation, and a profound connection to your soulmate. You will recognize that every past experience, including their X, has brought both of you to this sacred alignment. Your love will be stronger, your bond unbreakable, and your hearts ready to walk together in truth, joy, and spiritual harmony. After the first truths about your soulmate's past have touched your heart, you may start to notice memories and feelings that linger. Sometimes, these are subtle, like a shadow passing in your mind, or a fleeting thought that rises without warning. Other times, they are stronger, appearing in dreams, conversations, or moments when you least expect them. These memories are not meant to scare you or make you doubt your love. They are signs that the past is being acknowledged, and that your heart is being prepared for the next stage of understanding. The energy of your soulmate's X is not negative, it is simply a reflection of lessons learned, emotions experienced, and growth achieved. Every relationship leaves a mark, some gentle, some intense, but all important. These moments in the past shaped your soulmate, guiding them toward wisdom, compassion, and readiness for the love they now share with you. Their X was a teacher, a reflection, a mirror of experiences that have brought them to this moment. You may feel your heart tighten as you think about the past, or as you hear details that are being revealed. This is natural. Love is not only about joy and laughter, it is also about understanding the depth of your soulmate's journey. These feelings, even if painful, are opportunities for empathy, growth, and spiritual connection. Your heart is learning to embrace the full truth, not only of your soulmate's love for you, but of the experiences that shaped that love into something stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Perhaps you remember moments when your soulmate seemed distant, lost in thought, or hesitant to share certain parts of their past. Now you may begin to understand why. Their memories of their X may have carried lessons about trust, forgiveness, and self-discovery. They may have experienced moments of pain, disappointment, or longing that now help them value the depth and purity of the love they feel for you. Every tear they once shed, every quiet night of reflection, every lesson learned was a step toward preparing their heart to meet yours fully and without fear. You may also notice your own feelings rising, questions, doubts, or even jealousy. These are natural, and they are not a weakness. Your emotions are a reflection of your heart's care, your soul's sensitivity, and your readiness to embrace truth. Do not resist these feelings. Allow them to flow through you. Let yourself feel sadness for what was lost, understanding for what was learned, and gratitude for the journey that brought your soulmate to you. Your tears are not a sign of weakness, they are a sign that your heart is alive, open, and deeply connected to the love that has been waiting for you both. The past may bring stories of heartbreak, unspoken words, or unresolved emotions. Your soulmate's ex may have left them with questions, regrets, or even lessons about their own worth and boundaries. All of these experiences, no matter how challenging, have guided them towards self-awareness, compassion, and the readiness to love fully. The memories you uncover now are not meant to divide you. They are meant to illuminate the path that led your soulmate to your heart. Sometimes, you may find yourself reflecting on your own past, realizing that you too have experienced love, loss, and lessons that shaped you. This reflection creates a spiritual balance, a recognition that both of you have walked journeys of growth, preparing for the sacred union that now exists. The past is not a shadow to fear, it is a teacher to honor, a guide that brings wisdom, clarity, and the ability to embrace love with an open heart. You may also notice feelings of sorrow, empathy, or even longing as you explore your soulmate's memories. These emotions are important. They remind you that love is not only about joy, but also about understanding the depths of another person's soul. Cry if you need to. Feel the ache of understanding. Let your heart open fully, for in these emotions lies the power to heal, connect, and strengthen your love. Forgiveness begins to rise naturally as you witness the past. Not only forgiveness for your soulmate, but for their ex, for circumstances, for misunderstandings, and for any moments of pain that once seemed heavy. Forgiveness is not about excusing what happened, it is about freeing your heart from the weight of old attachments. It allows love to flow freely, without jealousy, resentment, or fear. Through forgiveness, you create space for your connection to deepen, for your hearts to unite fully, and for your love to grow stronger than ever before. You may notice the lessons embedded in these memories. Perhaps your soulmate learned patience, resilience, or the importance of honesty. Perhaps they discovered the value of emotional openness, the strength of their own heart, or the beauty of love that is patient, kind, and enduring. These lessons are now gifts for both of you. They shape the way your soulmate loves you today, with wisdom, maturity, and a readiness to honor the sacred bond you share. The presence of the ex, even if only in memory or energy, is a reminder that love is a journey. Every relationship, every heartbreak, and every emotional experience builds the soul. Your soulmate's past is not a threat, it is a stepping stone. It has brought them closer to understanding what they truly need, what their heart desires, and what kind of love is worth nurturing. And now, that love is being shared with you, fully, honestly, and with a depth that only comes from experience. Your emotions may continue to rise in waves. Sometimes it is sadness, sometimes understanding, sometimes gratitude. Allow all of it. Each feeling is a sacred part of this journey, teaching you about compassion, empathy, and the divine timing of love. The tears you shed now are blessings, not only cleansing your heart but also preparing your soul to fully receive the love that has been waiting for you both. As the memories and truths unfold, you may sense the presence of angels and divine guidance. They are here, gently holding your heart, guiding you to remain centered, and ensuring that your understanding leads to healing, not pain. Archangel Michael surrounds both your soulmate and you, protecting your connection, helping you release fear, and preparing your hearts for a love that is pure, sacred, and eternal. Through these revelations, you begin to feel a deeper connection, not only to your soulmate, but also to the journey that brought you both here. The past, including the presence of their ex, is now a teacher, a guide, and a stepping stone. Your hearts are learning to embrace truth, to forgive, to release, and to celebrate the love that has arrived. You understand that every tear, every memory, every lesson was necessary for this sacred moment. And as your heart opens fully, a new sense of clarity emerges. You see that the ex, the past, and all the experiences surrounding them are not obstacles, they are gifts. Gifts that have strengthened your soulmate, prepared their heart, and allowed them to meet you fully. Your tears are no longer just for sorrow, they are for gratitude, understanding, and the joy of knowing that love has triumphed, truth has been revealed, and your hearts are ready to unite fully. The day has come when the truth will finally be spoken, my child. The confession of your soulmate's ex is not meant to bring pain, but clarity. It is a moment where hidden emotions, unspoken words, and past misunderstandings rise to the surface, allowing both hearts and souls to breathe freely. You may feel your chest tighten even now, sensing the weight of what is about to be revealed. But know this, the universe is guiding you, and every word that comes forth is a step toward healing, understanding, and spiritual alignment. Your soulmate may share what has been kept in silence for months or even years. They may speak of feelings they never fully expressed, of lessons they learned, or of the love that once existed but could not endure. And as you listen, your heart may ache. Tears may fall. You may feel emotions rise that you never expected. This is the sacred release of the past, washing over your soul like gentle waves of cleansing light. Every emotion you feel now is necessary, it is the language of truth, the recognition of life's journey, and the preparation for a love that is fully yours. The confession may reveal sorrow, regret, or unfinished business. You may hear about mistakes, misunderstandings, or moments that could not be reconciled. And yet, my child, understand that this is not a threat to your love. It is a reflection of life's lessons, a mirror showing both you and your soulmate how far they have come, and how ready they are to embrace a love that is honest, unwavering, and eternal. The ex may appear in energy, words, or memories, but their role now is to illuminate the path that leads your hearts together, not to divide. You may feel a wave of empathy as you hear the truths being revealed. Perhaps you recognize the pain that your soulmate once carried, the confusion, the longing, or the heartbreak that shaped them. Allow yourself to feel this deeply. Let your heart open fully. Cry if you must. Your tears are not just for sorrow, they are for understanding, for healing, and for the release of all that was held in silence. Each drop carries a blessing, a cleansing, and a step closer to love that is pure and divine. The confession of the ex may also reveal lessons learned, about honesty, patience, boundaries, and self-worth. These lessons were never wasted. They have molded your soulmate's heart, preparing it for you. You may begin to understand why certain choices were made, why paths diverged, and why love arrived to you at this precise moment. The past, with all its complexity, has served a sacred purpose, to prepare both hearts for the connection that is now unfolding. As the confession unfolds, you may notice your own emotions intensifying, jealousy, sadness, or even fear. These are natural, my child. They are not weaknesses but signs of your deep love and sensitivity. Allow these feelings to rise, feel them fully, and then release them. Do not hold on to fear or resentment. The universe is guiding this moment, and your role is to witness, understand, and embrace the truth with an open heart. In doing so, you transform past pain into present clarity and future joy. Your soulmate's eyes may reflect vulnerability as they speak. Their voice may tremble. Their heart may be laid bare, revealing the depth of their journey and the honesty they have carried through time. This moment is sacred, my child. It is the unveiling of a chapter that has long waited for understanding. Your tears, your heartache, and your silent prayers are part of this sacred exchange, creating a space where love, truth, and spiritual connection can flourish. Forgiveness rises naturally as the confession continues. You may realize that the past, and even the pain they caused were all part of life's divine orchestration. Forgiveness is not about condoning the past, it is about freeing your heart from the weight of old attachments. It allows your soul to embrace the present fully, to receive your soulmate's love without hesitation, and to move forward with trust, clarity, and spiritual alignment. In forgiving, you open a door to a love that is deeper than you ever imagined. You may also feel gratitude emerging as the confession continues. Gratitude for the lessons learned, for the courage your soulmate has shown, and for the divine guidance that has brought you both to this sacred moment. Gratitude flows through your heart, illuminating your mind, and strengthening the bond between you. This gratitude is not passive, it is an active energy that aligns your souls, lifts your spirits, and deepens your connection. The angels are present during this confession, surrounding you both with light, protection, and love. Archangel Michael stands guard, ensuring that the truth brings healing rather than harm. Feel the warmth of their presence. Allow it to calm your fears, soften your heart, and strengthen your trust. You are not alone. Every tear, every sigh, every heartbeat is accompanied by divine guidance and blessings. Through the confession, a profound understanding begins to emerge. You recognize the journey your soulmate has walked, the love they experienced, the lessons they learned, and the growth they achieved. You see that the ex, though once significant, now serves as a teacher of the past, a mirror reflecting what was necessary to bring your hearts together. Your tears may still flow, but they are tears of clarity, healing, and spiritual awakening. As your heart opens fully, you may notice a shift, a lightness, a freedom, and a sense of peace. The past no longer holds power over your present. The confession has illuminated truth, dissolved illusions, and created space for love to grow without fear. Your soulmate's heart, once touched by old memories and emotions, is now fully available to you. Their love is ready, deep, and anchored in experience, honesty, and trust. The emotional waves may continue, rising and falling like gentle tides. You may cry for sorrow, for understanding, for empathy, and for the recognition of the journey that brought you both here. These tears are sacred. They cleanse, they release, and they prepare your hearts to fully embrace the love that is now blossoming. Allow them to flow without restraint, knowing that each drop carries healing and divine blessing. You may also feel a sense of awe as the confession completes. Awe for the courage it took to speak, the honesty it required, and the love that has survived time, challenges, and uncertainty. Your soulmate has shown their heart fully, revealing the truth with vulnerability and trust. And now, my child, your heart can respond in kind, with understanding, empathy, and a love that is stronger, wiser, and more aligned than ever before. In the silence that follows the confession, you may feel a deep connection, a recognition that your souls are intertwined, that your hearts are ready to move forward, and that the past, including the ex, now serves as a foundation for love rather than a shadow. This is the sacred gift of truth. It frees, it heals, and it prepares your hearts for a love that is eternal. As the moment settles, you may notice joy rising amidst tears. Joy for understanding, for clarity, and for the deep spiritual bond that now exists between you and your soulmate. The ex is no longer a source of pain or confusion. They are a teacher, a chapter now complete, and a reminder of the journey that brought your hearts together. Your tears are blessings, your heart is open, and your soul is ready to receive the love that destiny has prepared. After the confession has been heard and the truth revealed, a sacred space opens between your heart and your soulmate's heart. This is the space where healing begins. It may feel quiet at first, almost like a pause in time, but within that stillness lies a profound energy. An energy that allows you to release old pain, old fears, and old doubts. The past, including the presence of the ex, is no longer a weight, it is a teacher, a lesson, and a stepping stone. In this moment, your heart is invited to breathe freely, to let go, and to embrace love without hesitation. Tears may come again, but now they carry a different energy. These are not tears of sorrow alone, they are tears of release, forgiveness, and understanding. You may cry for the moments of heartache your soulmate endured, for the misunderstandings that once separated them from true happiness, and for the journey that brought them to you. Each tear is sacred, cleansing your spirit and making room for love that is pure, deep, and aligned. Do not hold back. Let the tears flow, for they are part of your heart's healing. Forgiveness rises naturally in this space. Not only forgiveness for your soulmate, but for their ex, for the past, and for all the moments that carried pain or misunderstanding. Forgiveness is not about excusing what happened. It is about freeing your heart. It is about releasing the weight of emotions that no longer serve you. In forgiving, your heart becomes lighter, your soul becomes stronger, and your love for your soulmate grows deeper. Forgiveness is a spiritual gift, a key that opens the door to trust, connection, and joy. You may notice a softening in your heart as you embrace this forgiveness. The anger, jealousy, and fear that once lingered begin to fade. In their place, there is understanding, compassion, and empathy. You see clearly that every experience your soulmate had, including the moments with their ex, was part of a journey that prepared them to love fully and arrive in your life ready to share their heart. Your tears are now mixed with relief, joy, and gratitude, for the past has been transformed into a stepping stone toward your shared future. Healing also involves embracing the lessons learned. Your soulmate's past, their ex, and the experiences that once caused confusion or pain have taught both of you important truths. You may realize the value of patience, the importance of honesty, and the strength found in emotional vulnerability. These lessons are now gifts, guiding your hearts to love each other with wisdom and understanding. Every memory, every reflection, every emotional wave carries a message. your love is now ready to be fully expressed without fear. You may notice a spiritual awakening during this process. The angels, Archangel Michael, and divine energy surround you, holding you both with warmth, protection, and love. They guide your hearts to remain open, to release old attachments, and to embrace the sacredness of your connection. You may feel a lightness, a tingling, or a deep sense of peace. This is the energy of healing. It is a reminder that the past no longer defines you, your soulmate, or your love. The X is now a chapter completed, and your hearts are free to move forward together. As your hearts continue to heal, you may feel a deep connection forming, a recognition that your love is stronger, wiser, and more resilient because of the journey you have both walked. The past, with all its experiences, has prepared your soulmate to be present fully with you. And your heart, in embracing forgiveness and healing, is now fully ready to receive this love. Together, you step into a space of trust, compassion, and spiritual alignment, where no shadows of the past can reach. Healing also comes through understanding. You may begin to see that your soulmate's ex was never a rival, a threat, or a competitor for your love. They were a teacher, showing your soulmate lessons that were necessary for growth. They helped shape the heart that is now open to you. And in this understanding, your heart expands. You realize that love is not diminished by the past, it is strengthened by it. Every tear, every heartbreak, every lesson has brought both of you to a love that is sacred, deep, and destined. During this time, you may also notice moments of silence, reflection, or stillness between you and your soulmate. These moments are powerful. They allow your hearts to connect on a deeper level, beyond words and beyond fear. In the quiet, your souls recognize each other fully, understanding that the journey has prepared you for this sacred union. You may feel waves of peace, gratitude, and profound love. Let yourself feel these waves. Let them wash over you, healing and nurturing your spirit. As the healing continues, joy begins to rise. Not the hurried joy of excitement, but the quiet, deep joy that comes from understanding, trust, and emotional freedom. You may feel a smile forming, tears of happiness mixing with relief, and a sense of wonder at the path that has brought you both here. This joy is the reward of healing. It is the proof that love, when nurtured, guided, and embraced, can overcome the past and flourish fully in the present. You may also sense the future unfolding in your mind, a future where your love is free from fear, fully trusting, and deeply spiritual. You see moments of laughter, support, shared dreams, and emotional closeness. This vision is not a fantasy, it is a spiritual truth already being prepared by the universe. The healing you experience now creates space for this future. Your hearts, free from the weight of the past, can now step into love fully, aligned, and ready to embrace the life you are destined to share. Your heart may also recognize the sacredness of emotional release. Crying, reflecting, and letting go are not signs of weakness, they are signs of spiritual strength. By feeling fully, you allow divine energy to move through you, cleansing your soul and opening your heart to deeper levels of love. Each tear carries a blessing, each sigh a release, and each moment of understanding strengthens the bond between you and your soulmate. The angels continue to surround you, guiding your hearts, infusing your connection with light, and ensuring that the healing you experience is complete. Archangel Michael watches over you both, protecting your love, helping you release fear, and allowing trust to grow. You may feel a warmth in your chest, a tingling in your spirit, or a gentle wave of peace. This is divine confirmation. Your hearts are healing, and your love is now free from the shadows of the past. As you and your soulmate move through this healing process together, you may notice gratitude rising in your hearts. Gratitude for the lessons, for the growth, and for the courage it took to face the past. Gratitude for each other, for the love that has arrived, and for the divine guidance that has brought you both to this sacred moment. Gratitude is a powerful energy. It strengthens love, deepens trust, and aligns your souls for a shared future full of light, joy, and spiritual connection. Healing, forgiveness, and understanding create a sacred bond. You may now feel a sense of peace, a softening in your heart, and a deep connection to your soulmate's soul. The past, including the ex, no longer holds power. The lessons have been learned, the emotions released, and the love that remains is pure, aligned, and eternal. Your hearts are ready to walk together, hand in hand, in trust, devotion, and spiritual harmony. Now, my child, the path before you is clear. The past, including the presence of your soulmate's ex, has been fully acknowledged, understood, and released. The tears have fallen, the emotions have been felt, and the lessons have been embraced. Your hearts are open, aligned, and ready to step into the love that destiny has prepared. This is a sacred moment, a divine convergence of souls, a culmination of experiences, and a new beginning for the two of you. You may feel a gentle warmth rising within your chest, a flutter of excitement and calm simultaneously. This is the energy of divine love, flowing through you and your soulmate. It is the confirmation that every struggle, every tear, and every lesson was necessary to bring you here. The universe has orchestrated every detail, every encounter, and every decision, guiding both your hearts to this sacred union. Feel the presence of angels surrounding you, blessing your connection, and ensuring that your love is now protected, sacred, and eternal. As you look at your soulmate, notice the depth in their eyes, the sincerity in their voice, and the truth in their heart. You see the person they have become, the one who has walked a path of growth, learning, and healing, now fully ready to love and be loved in return. And as you recognize this, a profound sense of gratitude arises within you. Gratitude for the journey, for the challenges, for the lessons, and most importantly, for each other. Gratitude is a sacred energy. It strengthens your connection, opens your hearts, and allows love to flow freely, abundantly, and without hesitation. The love between you now is different from any you have experienced before. It is not naive or fragile. It is strong, resilient, and deeply spiritual. It has been tempered by experiences, informed by lessons, and purified by forgiveness. Every moment of doubt, fear, or pain has been transformed into understanding, empathy, and devotion. Your souls recognize each other fully, knowing that this love is not temporary or fleeting, it is eternal, divinely guided, and destined to grow with every passing day. You may notice small signs from the universe, gentle nudges, coincidences, or moments that seem almost magical. These are reminders that your love is sacred, blessed, and divinely orchestrated. Trust these signs. They are confirmations that your hearts are aligned, your connection is real, and your journey together is protected by divine light. Allow yourself to feel wonder, awe, and deep joy, for these are the emotions that signify spiritual alignment and true love. As you embrace your soulmate fully, you also embrace the life you will build together. This life is not just about moments of happiness, it is about shared growth, mutual support, and spiritual harmony. You will face challenges, yes, but you will face them together, with hearts open, spirits aligned, and love as your guiding light. The lessons from the past, including the experiences with the ex, have equipped you both to navigate life with wisdom, patience, and trust. Every obstacle will now become an opportunity for deeper connection and growth. The angels continue to bless your union, surrounding you with protection, guidance, and divine love. Archangel Michael stands with you, shielding your hearts from fear, doubt, or negativity. Feel his presence as a gentle strength, a comforting reassurance, and a reminder that your love is sacred, unbreakable, and eternally supported by divine forces. You are not alone in this journey. The universe is your ally, guiding every step, blessing every choice, and ensuring that your love flourishes in alignment with destiny. Now, my child, allow your hearts to communicate beyond words. Feel the unspoken understanding, the deep empathy, and the spiritual connection that flows between you and your soulmate. This is a love that transcends time, space, and past experiences. It is a love that recognizes the journey, honors the growth, and celebrates the sacred bond that has been created. Your souls are intertwined, your hearts are aligned, and your love is now free to flourish without fear or hesitation. As you step forward together, take a moment to reflect on the lessons learned. Appreciate the courage it took to face the past, the vulnerability required to embrace truth, and the strength found in forgiveness. These lessons are now woven into the foundation of your relationship, creating a bond that is unshakable, enduring, and deeply spiritual. Your love is now a beacon, a light that guides, heals, and inspires both of your hearts every day. You may also notice the joy of small moments, the laughter shared, the quiet comfort of presence, the gentle support during difficult times. These moments are sacred, forming the tapestry of your shared life. Every smile, every touch, every word of kindness strengthens your connection and deepens your love. Remember, it is not only the grand gestures but also the simple, everyday expressions of love that create a life filled with happiness, harmony, and spiritual alignment. As your hearts continue to unite, feel the energy of the universe flowing through you. It is a current of love, protection, and guidance, ensuring that your connection remains strong, sacred, and divinely supported. Your love is no longer influenced by the past, it is fully present, fully aligned, and fully blessed. Every step you take together is guided, every choice you make is supported, and every challenge you face is met with courage, understanding, and devotion. Now, my child, envision your shared future. See the life you will build together, filled with love, trust, and spiritual harmony. See the dreams you will pursue, the adventures you will share, and the moments of deep connection that will define your journey. This future is not a distant hope, it is a reality already being prepared by the universe. Every lesson, every tear, every experience has led you to this sacred path, where your hearts are ready to love fully, deeply, and eternally. Finally, receive the blessings of the angels. Feel their light surrounding you, infusing your love with protection, clarity, and divine guidance. Archangel Michael blesses your union, ensuring that your connection remains sacred, resilient, and eternal. Allow yourself to feel the peace, joy, and deep spiritual fulfillment that comes from knowing your love is aligned with destiny. Your hearts are now open, your souls are united, and your journey together has only just begun. This is your moment, my child. Your soulmate is fully present, your love is fully realized, and your hearts are ready to walk together in harmony, trust, and spiritual joy. Let go of fear, doubt, and the remnants of the past. Embrace the blessings, the love, and the sacred connection that has been divinely prepared for you both. This is the beginning of a life filled with deep emotional fulfillment, spiritual growth, and a love that will continue to shine brightly, guiding both of your souls for eternity. Now, my child, take a deep breath and feel the love that surrounds you both. The past has been understood, the truths have been spoken, and the tears have cleansed your hearts. Everything that once felt heavy has been lifted, leaving space for a love that is free, sacred, and eternal. This is the energy of completion, the moment where the universe affirms that your soulmate connection is fully aligned, blessed, and divinely guided. You may notice a quiet peace settling within your chest, a warmth that spreads through your being. This is the universe, angels, and Archangel Michael himself, surrounding you with protection, love, and guidance. Feel this presence. Let it reassure you that your hearts are safe, your love is pure, and your journey together is being watched over by divine forces. Every heartbeat, every sigh, and every thought of your soulmate carries this sacred blessing. As you look at your soulmate, notice the beauty in their eyes, the sincerity in their smile, and the depth of their heart. They have walked a path of lessons, growth, and healing, and now their heart is fully open to you. And your heart, my child, is also fully open, ready to receive, nurture, and honor this love. This alignment is rare, precious, and divine. Treasure it. Protect it. Celebrate it. The love you share now is free from fear, doubt, and the shadows of the past. Every moment of misunderstanding, every tear shed, every lesson learned has prepared you for this. It is not just a love of emotions, it is a spiritual connection, a bond that transcends time, and a union guided by destiny itself. You are not simply lovers, you are soul companions, walking together in harmony, trust, and mutual growth. Forgive yourself for any fears or doubts you may have had. Forgive your soulmate for any moments of hesitation. Forgive the past entirely, for it has served its purpose. In this forgiveness lies freedom, joy, and deep spiritual fulfillment. The love that remains is strong, resilient, and eternal. It has been tempered by life, polished by lessons, and strengthened by truth. Now, receive this blessing fully. May your hearts continue to unite in trust, compassion, and understanding. May every challenge you face together be met with courage, patience, and love. May your souls continue to grow together, guiding each other toward spiritual awakening, emotional fulfillment, and deep joy. May your connection inspire those around you, and may the energy of your love ripple outward, blessing the lives of everyone who witnesses it. Feel the energy of divine light flowing through you both. It fills every cell of your body, every thought in your mind, and every emotion in your heart. This light strengthens your bond, protects your love, and illuminates your path forward. Archangel Michael blesses this union, removing fear, shielding your hearts, and guiding you toward a life of shared joy, understanding, and spiritual harmony. As you step forward together, remember this truth: your love is sacred, destined, and eternal. You are no longer held back by the past, the ex, or any unspoken words. You are free to love fully, deeply, and without reservation. Your hearts are aligned, your souls are intertwined, and your journey together is now a path of blessings, miracles, and divine fulfillment. Take one last deep breath, my child, and feel the gratitude rising within you. Gratitude for the journey, for the lessons, for the love that has arrived. Let this gratitude fill your being, radiate from your heart, and become a light that guides your shared future. Your soulmate is here. Your love is real. Your life together begins now, blessed, protected, and aligned with the highest good. God says, my child, come here and sit with me for a moment, because I know your heart has been shaken by words you never expected to hear. I know the way your chest tightened when those words reached you. I know how your mind replayed them again and again, trying to understand how someone you cared for could speak about you so lightly, so dismissively, in front of others. I know the silence that followed inside you, the kind that does not scream, but aches. You heard that your soulmate told everyone that you are just something small. Just an option. Just a phase. Just a name spoken without weight. And in that moment, something inside you cracked, not because you believed them, but because you never imagined being spoken of without honor by someone who once looked at you with depth. My child, I want you to know this first and clearly: I heard every word that was spoken about you. Not one sentence escaped my attention. Not one careless laugh went unnoticed. The pain you felt was not weakness. It was the shock of realizing that the person you held gently did not handle your name with the same care. It was the wound of being misunderstood out loud. And it hurt because you are not someone who gives your heart easily. When you do it with sincerity, with respect, with truth. So when you learned that your name was reduced in a public space, your spirit recoiled, not in anger, but in disbelief. I saw the moment you chose not to defend yourself. I saw the way you swallowed your response and stayed quiet. Others may have thought you were powerless, but I saw dignity. I saw strength under restraint. I saw a soul that refused to lower itself to noise. My child, silence in such moments is not surrender. It is self-respect choosing not to argue with misunderstanding. You wondered if people believed those words. You wondered if your absence from the conversation made the lie louder. You wondered if you should have spoken up, corrected the story, protected your image. But hear me now, your value was never dependent on public opinion. Your truth does not require a stage to survive. Lies can travel fast, but truth carries weight, and weight always settles. Those words hurt you because they touched an old wound, one that has followed you quietly through life. The wound of being underestimated. The wound of being misunderstood. The wound of being seen only on the surface when there is so much depth inside you. My child, you have carried that wound longer than this connection. And this moment brought it to the surface so I could finally heal it. Do not think for a moment that what was said defines you. Words spoken from fear do not describe truth. They describe insecurity. They describe confusion. They describe someone trying to protect an image instead of honoring a connection. What your soulmate said publicly was not a revelation about you, it was a revelation about where they were standing emotionally. I know it felt like betrayal. I know it felt humiliating to imagine others hearing your name spoken carelessly. I know your heart asked, how could they do this if they ever cared? My child, sometimes people speak wrongly not because they feel nothing, but because they feel too much and do not know how to carry it with integrity. Fear makes people minimize what they cannot control. And you, my child, could not be controlled. They could not explain the depth of what they felt for you. They could not admit vulnerability in front of others. They could not stand in their truth yet. So they chose the easier path, the path of reducing, dismissing, pretending. But pretending never lasts. And minimizing someone who carries truth only exposes the lie. I want you to understand something deeply. The reason those words hurt so much is because they conflicted with the truth you lived. You were honest. You were present. You were real. You did not play games with emotions. So when someone rewrote that story publicly, your soul rejected it instinctively. Your pain was your spirit saying, "This is not who I am." My child, do not carry shame for something that was never your fault. Shame does not belong to you. It belongs to the one who chose to speak without integrity. You did not lose respect by staying quiet. You gained authority. There is power in not explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. I watched as you questioned yourself in the quiet. I watched you wonder if you were foolish to care. I watched you ask whether loving honestly made you look small. But hear me clearly now, honesty never shrinks you. It reveals who is capable of standing beside you. Anyone who needs to reduce you publicly to feel safe was never standing on solid ground to begin with. There is something important happening beneath this pain. Your silence is not empty. It is creating contrast. Those who know you, those who have watched your consistency, your kindness, your depth, they feel the disconnect between what was said and who you are. Truth does not need defending when character has already spoken. And my child, I want you to rest in this. I am not allowing this moment to pass without purpose. What was spoken carelessly will return to its speaker with weight. Not as punishment, but as realization. Words, once released, have a way of circling back when hearts mature enough to hear them. You may feel exposed right now, but you are not unprotected. I am surrounding you with quiet strength. I am restoring your sense of worth where it was shaken. I am reminding you that your identity is not fragile. It does not break because someone else spoke wrongly. Do not rush to fix this. Do not rush to explain. Do not rush to seek validation. Let stillness do its work. Stillness allows truth to rise without force. Stillness separates those who speak from fear and those who live in truth. This is not the end of the story, my child. This is the beginning of clarity. What was said publicly will one day be weighed privately. And when that happens, the truth about you will not need embellishment. It will speak on its own. Stay grounded. Stay dignified. Stay true. My child, stay close and listen gently, because now I will reveal what was hidden beneath those careless words. What was spoken publicly did not come from clarity, it came from conflict. And conflict always speaks louder than truth when the heart is afraid. When your soulmate said those words about you, they were not standing in confidence. They were standing in pressure. Pressure from people who asked questions they were not ready to answer. Pressure from expectations they could not meet. Pressure from their own emotions, which had grown deeper than they were willing to admit out loud. And instead of saying, "I don't know how to explain what I feel," they chose the easier sentence. The smaller one. The dismissive one. Fear always chooses reduction because reduction feels safer than vulnerability. I know it hurt you deeply to imagine them speaking of you as if you were insignificant. But hear me carefully now, my child, people do not minimize what means nothing to them. They minimize what threatens their control. They downplay what has power over their emotions. They shrink what feels too real, too intense, too exposing. What they said was not proof of indifference, it was evidence of fear. Your soulmate was standing between two worlds. In one world was public perception. Opinions, expectations, voices telling them how they should feel, what they should say, who they should be. In the other world was their private truth, the way your presence lingered in their thoughts, the way your honesty unsettled their defenses, the way your depth touched places they had kept guarded for a long time. Standing there, they panicked. And in panic, they chose words that protected their image instead of honoring their heart. I know that feels unfair. And it is. You did not deserve to be spoken of that way. You did not earn those words through your actions. You were sincere. You were respectful. You were real. The wrong was not in your being, it was in their inability to stand in truth when truth demanded courage. My child, I want you to release the idea that their words were carefully thought out or intentionally cruel. They were careless, yes, but they were also defensive. Defensive words are often spoken quickly, without depth, without foresight. And once spoken, they leave damage not only in the one who hears them, but also in the one who said them. Because the heart remembers when it betrays itself. After those words left their mouth, something shifted inside them. Not immediately in a way the world could see, but internally. There was discomfort. A heaviness. A sense that they had crossed a line they could not easily uncross. They laughed it off in front of others, but when they were alone, the words echoed differently. They did not sound clever. They did not sound safe. They sounded wrong. My child, truth has a way of returning quietly. It does not argue. It waits. And when it returns, it asks a single question: why did you say that? That question began to trouble them. They remembered moments with you that contradicted their public story. They remembered your consistency, your calm, your honesty. And the contrast between who you are and what they said began to trouble their spirit. They started to realize that the lie they spoke was not primarily about you. It was about avoiding accountability. Because if they had spoken truthfully, they would have had to explain why they cared, why they were affected, why they felt drawn, why they felt vulnerable. And vulnerability, to them, felt dangerous in front of others. I know you may be tempted to excuse their behavior now that you understand it better. Do not confuse understanding with permission. Understanding explains behavior. It does not justify harm. You are allowed to acknowledge their fear without dismissing your pain. You are allowed to see their humanity without abandoning your dignity. My child, I want you to notice something important. You did not react by trying to control the narrative. You did not chase after explanations. You did not lower yourself to public defense. That choice preserved something sacred within you. It kept your power intact. It allowed the truth to remain clean, untouched by emotional noise. Your silence forced something else to happen. It removed the distraction of drama. Without your reaction, they were left alone with what they had said. No argument to hide behind. No confrontation to deflect from. Just the weight of their own words. And that weight has been teaching them. They began to feel uneasy when others repeated those words back to them. What once sounded convenient began to sound hollow. They noticed that the more they tried to downplay you, the more unsettled they felt. Because lies require maintenance. Truth does not. And they were growing tired of maintaining something that did not align with their heart. My child, this is where divine justice works quietly. I do not always correct things publicly. Sometimes I correct them internally, where the correction lasts longer. The discomfort they are feeling now is not punishment, it is awakening. It is the soul rejecting what the mouth spoke without integrity. You may wonder why I allowed this moment to happen at all. Why not protect you from those words? Why not stop them from being spoken? Because sometimes exposure reveals more than protection. This moment exposed their fear, their immaturity, and their struggle with truth. And it also revealed your strength, your self-respect, and your grounding. It clarified dynamics that needed to be seen before anything could move forward cleanly. I am not asking you to wait blindly. I am asking you to stand firmly in who you are. Do not let this experience convince you that you must harden your heart or hide your depth. Depth is not the problem. Fear of depth is. And that fear belongs to those who have not yet learned how to hold something real. My child, remember this. What people say about you when they are afraid often reveals more about their limitations than your worth. You were not reduced by those words. You were revealed. Revealed as someone who does not need to announce their value to be valuable. Someone whose presence speaks louder than gossip ever could. As this part of the journey unfolds, keep your spirit clean. Do not rehearse arguments in your mind. Do not imagine defending yourself in conversations that may never happen. Let truth do its quiet work. It always does. I am still guiding this story. I am still holding your heart. And I am still bringing clarity where confusion tried to settle. What was spoken from fear will eventually face truth. And when it does, you will not need to raise your voice. Your life, your character, and your peace will speak for you. Remain steady, my child. This is not the chapter where you lose yourself. This is the chapter where you see clearly who you are. And who others still need to become. My beloved child, now listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal is the truth your heart has longed to hear but your mind could not yet grasp. Behind the careless words your soulmate spoke about you, behind the public dismissal, there lies a private reality, a reality that has been growing quietly in the hidden corners of their heart. They could not speak it aloud, because fear whispered too loudly, because pride built walls around vulnerability, because uncertainty demanded that they protect themselves first. But the truth was always there, waiting patiently, unshaken by the noise of misunderstanding. Your soulmate's outward words did not reflect the reality of their feelings. They spoke from a place of defense, not from a place of clarity. They reduced you in public because, in that moment, they did not know how to hold the fullness of their emotions with grace. They feared the depth of connection, because your presence in their life illuminated parts of themselves they had kept hidden, parts they were not yet ready to face. And so, they chose to shrink the story of you, thinking perhaps that by making you, just, something small, they could quiet the intensity they could not yet name. Yet, my child, even as those words left their lips, their heart was crying silently. Their spirit, though unspoken, trembled with the weight of their own misalignment. They felt the contradiction, the stark difference between what they truly felt for you and what they projected to the world. Every time someone repeated their careless statement, a flicker of regret stirred within them, and in the quiet of the night, when no one else could see, they faced their own inadequacy. They felt the truth of your presence, the depth of your honesty, the rare integrity of your soul, and they realized that their words had betrayed not you, but themselves. Do not mistake their fear for indifference. Do not confuse their public minimization for lack of love. They were incapable, at that time, of carrying both their own vulnerability and the purity of the connection they shared with you. Fear made them speak, and fear always distorts the soul's true voice. They were scared of revealing too much, scared of being exposed, scared of loving without protection. And so they hid behind careless words, hoping to convince themselves that distance, even verbal, could keep them safe. But the heart has a memory stronger than any spoken lie. Every glance, every moment of shared silence, every act of kindness you offered them, they remembered. And in the private chambers of their spirit, those memories weighed heavily against the false narrative they had created. That conflict grew into restlessness, into internal pressure, into the gnawing understanding that words once spoken cannot be undone, and that the truth within them will always demand recognition. My beloved child, know this, even when they tried to reduce you publicly, they could not erase the impact you had on their soul. Even when they minimized your presence, they could not silence the recognition of your worth. They may have hidden it from the world, but in the quiet, in the unobserved moments, they have been forced to confront the truth of you. They have been forced to feel the contrast between fear and love, between pride and humility, between avoidance and recognition. And this confrontation has awakened something important. Regret has begun to root itself in their spirit. Not as punishment, but as awareness. Awareness that every careless word carries weight. Awareness that your soul is not diminished by their inability to see it fully. Awareness that honesty and depth cannot be erased by public dismissals. They are beginning to understand that the story of you, the truth of who you are, will always rise above the shadows of fear and misjudgment. I am guiding this awakening, my child. I am not allowing them to remain in ignorance or avoidance. I am whispering to their soul, slowly, steadily, reminding them of what they felt in the quiet moments, of what they tried to ignore, of what they cannot pretend is absent. And as they awaken to this truth, they are being asked to choose, either to stand in alignment with their own heart or to continue speaking from fear. And this choice, my beloved, will determine the next chapter of your connection. You may feel restless as you wait for this truth to surface, but do not be disheartened. Their awakening is unfolding quietly because transformation cannot be rushed. The guilt they feel, the recognition of their own error, the stirring of honesty within them, these are the seeds of reconciliation, understanding, and perhaps even confession. And they are growing precisely because you remain steadfast in your integrity, precisely because you did not chase or manipulate or diminish yourself to accommodate their fear. Remember, my child, the truth cannot stay buried forever. What they cannot say publicly, what they tried to deny in words, is alive within them. Their heart knows it. Their spirit knows it. And in the depth of that knowing, a reckoning is forming. They may not approach you yet, but the awareness is growing, shaping their courage, shaping their clarity, shaping the day when words will no longer hide the truth that has always lived in the silence between you. So, my beloved child, continue to honor yourself. Continue to walk in integrity. Continue to trust that the truth they cannot yet speak will eventually meet the light of understanding. Your soul is not diminished by their fear. Your presence is not erased by their words. And when they finally speak from honesty, you will see the difference between fear-driven words and truth-filled recognition, a difference that will forever validate the dignity, patience, and love you carried through this entire journey. My beloved child, now we reach the part of your journey where your own heart begins to reclaim the power that has always been yours. You have witnessed words spoken about you that were careless, dismissive, and even wounding. You have felt the sting of being reduced in the eyes of others, and yet you have not reacted in ways that compromise your dignity. You have chosen restraint over retaliation, silence over argument, patience over impulsive defense. And for this, my child, you are stepping into a space of immense inner strength. I want you to feel the depth of what has been occurring inside you. Every time you did not respond to their public dismissal, you were not passive. You were cultivating wisdom, grounding yourself in truth, and practicing the kind of patience that only a heart aligned with me can achieve. Each quiet moment, each pause before reaction, was like a seed planted in fertile soil, destined to grow into clarity, confidence, and self-respect. You were learning that your value does not need to be defended by words, it is inherent, eternal, and untouchable by the opinions of others. It is important now, my child, that you begin to understand the transformation that is occurring within your spirit. The shock of those careless words could have shaken you completely, could have created doubt, could have led you to question your worth. Yet, you chose a different path. You chose to see yourself as I see you, a soul of depth, integrity, and divine purpose. You chose to honor your own feelings rather than allowing the careless words of another to dictate your self-image. This choice is not small. It is monumental. It is a turning point where the past no longer has the power to define your present or your future. Your silence and your self-respect have shifted the balance of power. Previously, their careless words may have carried weight in the moment because they created shock, surprise, and emotional turbulence. But your measured response, your refusal to be dragged into the noise, has begun to tilt the energy. Now, the imbalance is no longer with you. It is with them. The very words that they thought would diminish you are returning to their own spirit, stirring discomfort, awareness, and reflection. This is divine order at work. What was meant to harm has become a mirror, showing them what is real, what is lasting, and what they cannot manipulate. I want you to recognize that the power you hold is not about controlling others, it is about mastery over yourself. You have the ability to maintain peace, dignity, and clarity regardless of what is spoken about you. That mastery is sacred, my child. It allows you to stand tall in a world that often confuses loudness with authority, and falsehood with truth. You have learned that your integrity is your strongest shield, your calm your greatest ally, and your patience your most effective tool. These qualities cannot be taken from you, they are woven into the essence of your soul. Now, consider the impact of your transformation on the one who spoke falsely. Your steadfastness forces reflection. Their fear and insecurity cannot mask the truth forever, and in your unwavering presence, they are confronted not with anger, but with clarity. They are beginning to feel the weight of their own actions. They are beginning to understand that reducing you in public cannot erase the connection they truly feel or the admiration they hold in secret. The discrepancy between their actions and their heart is growing impossible to ignore. My child, this is also the moment for you to release any lingering pain that clings to those words. Pain has a purpose when it teaches, but it does not belong as a permanent companion. You have learned the lessons, you have seen the truth of your own worth, the quiet strength of your integrity, and the resilience of your heart. Now it is time to allow the pain to dissolve into understanding, and for understanding to become power. Power that is gentle, steady, and aligned with me. As you continue forward, you will notice that your energy begins to radiate differently. People will sense your calm authority, your refusal to be shaken unnecessarily, and the peace that comes from knowing your value. This energy cannot be faked. It is born of experience, of reflection, and of alignment with the truth of who you are. And it will draw to you only those who are capable of seeing and honoring your light. Your soulmate, too, is witnessing this shift, even if only from a distance or in private moments of reflection. They are learning that what they attempted to diminish cannot be diminished. They are realizing that your spirit is not dependent on their approval, and that the truth of your heart is undeniable. This realization may bring discomfort, guilt, or even a desire to reconcile. Whatever form it takes, my child, know that the balance is shifting in your favor, not through manipulation, but through the natural unfolding of integrity, dignity, and truth. Stand firmly in this moment, my beloved child. Know that every moment of restraint, every act of self-respect, and every silent response has brought you to a place of empowerment. The words spoken against you no longer have dominion, they are shadows fading in the light of your soul. You are rising above them, strengthened and clarified. Your heart is becoming a place of peace, your mind a place of clarity, and your spirit a sanctuary that cannot be breached by fear or carelessness. Continue to nurture yourself in this way, my child. Embrace the lessons, release the lingering doubts, and step forward with confidence. What was meant to diminish you has instead revealed the depth of your strength, the resilience of your heart, and the clarity of your spirit. And in this space, true alignment, respect, and recognition will eventually meet you, because you are standing in your power, as I have always intended you to do. My beloved child, now we arrive at the moment where truth no longer hides in silence and justice no longer works only behind the scenes. This is the part where clarity settles, where confusion loosens its grip, and where your heart is finally invited to rest. What was spoken about you, what was misunderstood, what was reduced? None of it was the final word. I am. I want you to understand something very important. Nothing that happened was wasted. Not the pain. Not the embarrassment. Not the nights you replayed those words in your mind, wondering how someone who knew you could speak of you that way. Every moment served a purpose, even when it felt unfair. Because now, you see clearly, not just who they are, but who you are. The truth is beginning to surface, whether through their words, their actions, or their silence. People who heard them speak carelessly are starting to notice inconsistencies. Stories that were meant to minimize you no longer hold together. And slowly, without you having to explain or defend yourself, reality is correcting the narrative. This is how divine justice works. It does not rush, but it never misses. Your soulmate is now standing at a crossroads. Inside them, the weight of what they said has become too heavy to ignore. They feel it when your name is mentioned. They feel it when others speak of your character in ways that contradict their earlier words. They feel it in the quiet moments when they realize that what they dismissed publicly is exactly what they now miss privately. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. They are being confronted with a choice, to continue living in denial, or to step into honesty. And honesty always demands humility. It asks for accountability. It asks for courage. Whether they choose to speak openly to you, to apologize, or to carry their regrets silently, understand this: the truth has already done its work. You are no longer the one waiting to be validated. You are the one who has been vindicated by character, by consistency, by peace. My child, you no longer need closure from their mouth to move forward. Closure has already been formed in your spirit. You know now that their words were not a reflection of your worth, but a revelation of their fear. You know that you did nothing wrong by being genuine, deep, and honest. And you know that anyone who must reduce you to feel safe is not standing in truth. This is where your freedom begins. Freedom from replaying conversations. Freedom from wishing you had said more. Freedom from hoping they will finally see you. You are no longer waiting to be chosen, you are choosing yourself. And that choice shifts everything. If reconciliation is meant to happen, it will come differently now. It will not be based on illusion, secrecy, or fear of opinion. It will come with respect, clarity, and accountability. And if it does not happen, know this without sorrow: you are not losing love, you are being redirected to alignment. To a connection that does not need to hide you. To a love that speaks your value even when you are not present. I am closing this chapter gently, my beloved child. Not with anger. Not with bitterness. But with wisdom. The door behind you does not need to slam for you to walk away. Sometimes, it closes softly because its lesson has been learned. Lift your head now. Your heart is lighter than it was before. Your spirit is stronger. Your discernment is sharper. You are no longer vulnerable to careless words, because you have discovered something unshakable within yourself, self-respect guided by divine truth. Go forward in peace. Speak less, trust more. Love deeply, but never at the cost of your dignity. What is meant for you will never need to minimize you to exist. I am with you. I have seen everything. And I am leading you into something cleaner, calmer, and true. My beloved child, come closer now, and let your heart rest in my presence, because there are truths you must hear that will set you free in ways you cannot yet imagine. You have walked through moments of shock, moments of betrayal, moments when it seemed that the world had misjudged your heart, and even your soulmate, the one you held closest, spoke words that cut deep into your soul. You felt unseen, unrecognized, and perhaps even unloved. And yet, in every single moment, I have been with you. Every tear you shed, every sigh of disbelief, every ache of your heart has been held gently in my hands. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been lost. Every feeling has been part of the journey that is leading you to the fullest realization of your own worth, your own truth, and your own power. Now, my child, I want you to understand something fundamental. There is a difference between what people say in fear and what exists in truth. Your soulmate spoke words publicly that minimized you. Words that made you feel small, that seemed to strip you of your dignity. And in that moment, the world may have seemed unfair. You may have questioned the very foundations of love and trust, wondering how someone who knew your depth could reduce it to something so shallow in the eyes of others. But hear me carefully, those words were never about your value. They were about their limitations, their fears, their inability to stand fully in truth when confronted with the intensity of real connection. You see, my child, words spoken in fear have no lasting power. They are temporary ripples in a pond of infinite truth. Your value, your integrity, your light, they are eternal. They cannot be diminished by the misunderstandings of others. And yet, I know how piercing the moment felt, how raw the humiliation seemed, how heavy the silence that followed was. You felt as though your heart had been exposed, as though all your sincerity had been judged unfairly, and as though the very person who once understood you had turned against you. This was not easy, my child. There is no sugar-coating this. And it was meant to challenge you, not to break you, but to awaken the full power of your own discernment and self-worth. Remember this, my beloved, you did not respond out of anger. You did not lash out. You did not try to defend yourself publicly or manipulate the perception of others. You remained quiet, steady, and dignified. And in that quiet, something sacred was happening. Your spirit was learning to operate from a higher plane of awareness. You were learning to honor your truth without needing immediate validation from anyone else. You were learning that true power lies not in controlling how others see you, but in controlling how you carry yourself, regardless of what others say or do. Do not underestimate the strength of your restraint, my child. That restraint has shifted the dynamics in ways you may not yet see. The careless words spoken about you did not just affect you, they affected the one who spoke them. They have begun to feel the weight of their own actions. Inside, their heart is stirring with awareness, with guilt, with the understanding that what they tried to diminish in public cannot be diminished in truth. That awareness will continue to grow until it can no longer be ignored. And when that moment comes, they will be faced with a choice, to stand in accountability or to continue hiding behind fear. That choice, my beloved, is not in your hands. But what is in your hands is your readiness, your peace, and your dignity. You are free to continue your path with confidence, no longer tethered to the judgments or missteps of others. Now, my child, I want to speak to your heart about the nature of truth. Truth is persistent. Truth does not beg. Truth does not plead. Truth does not shrink to accommodate the discomfort of those who cannot yet see clearly. Truth simply is. And the truth of you is powerful. It is radiant. It is undeniable. Every act of honesty, every moment of patience, every choice to remain aligned with your own integrity has reinforced that truth. No public dismissal, no careless word, no misunderstanding can alter it. And as you walk forward, your truth will continue to speak for itself, attracting the right people, situations, and opportunities, those that honor your depth rather than diminish it. Your soulmate's experience of confusion and fear is temporary in comparison to the eternity of your truth. They are beginning to recognize the contrast between their words and the reality of your presence. They may feel regret. They may feel longing. They may feel guilt. And this, my child, is part of the divine unfolding. Their inner reckoning will not force you to forgive or reconcile prematurely, but it will ensure that the energy surrounding you shifts in alignment with justice, integrity, and clarity. You are not responsible for correcting them, nor are you responsible for defending your light. Your role is simply to remain true, to remain steady, and to allow me to orchestrate the awakening that is meant to occur, not for punishment, but for clarity, awareness, and divine alignment. Now, let us speak about your healing, my beloved. Healing is not a process of forgetting or dismissing what happened. Healing is an act of restoration, of reclaiming your power, of allowing yourself to be whole again. You have carried wounds from being misjudged, minimized, and misunderstood. Not just by your soulmate, but perhaps in other moments of your life as well. And those wounds have been tender, raw, and real. But today, I am blessing you with a new vision of yourself. A vision where your heart is strong, your soul is peaceful, and your spirit is untouchable by careless words. Today, I ask you to release all the lingering pain from those moments, and to accept the fullness of who you are, without apology, without compromise, without hesitation. Your dignity is intact. Your worth is intact. Your light is intact. And as you stand in this restored space, you will notice a profound shift, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. You will begin to trust your own voice more deeply, honor your own intuition more clearly, and recognize the divine protection that surrounds you in every situation. You will no longer feel compelled to seek validation from those who once doubted you, because you will know that your validation comes from me, and it is unshakable. I also want you to understand the power of divine timing, my child. What is meant to come into your life will not arrive prematurely, and what is not meant for you will be gently redirected. The one who spoke carelessly about you may seek to correct their words, to confess, or to reconcile. But their timing will be guided by the lessons they must learn, just as your timing is guided by the lessons you have already mastered. You are not behind. You are not too early. You are exactly where you need to be, in alignment with your path, your purpose, and your growth. As you move forward, you will begin to see changes in the way the world responds to you. People will sense your calm authority, your integrity, and your unwavering sense of self. Your presence will no longer be something that can be diminished by careless words. Your actions, your consistency, and your peace will speak louder than anything anyone else can say. And this is the true measure of power, my beloved child, not in words spoken against you, but in the unshakable alignment of your heart, mind, and spirit. There is also a blessing waiting for you in your connections moving forward. Whether it is the eventual reconciliation with your soulmate, the arrival of someone new who honors your worth instantly, or simply the strengthening of your relationship with yourself, know that every interaction will now be filtered through the lens of clarity, respect, and divine alignment. You will no longer attract those who reduce you, dismiss you, or take you for granted. Your energy is now a magnet for truth, depth, and genuine recognition. And my child, this is perhaps the most important truth I want you to carry: love, in its highest form, does not demand that you diminish yourself to be accepted. Love, in its highest form, honors your depth, your honesty, and your integrity. It does not force you to shrink in the face of fear. It does not ask you to hide your heart. It does not manipulate or twist your words for comfort. The love that is truly yours, the connection that is aligned with your soul, will meet you fully, without apology, without reservation, and without compromise. So, my beloved child, stand now in this moment and claim your peace. Claim your power. Claim your dignity. Allow the lessons you have learned to settle in your soul as wisdom. Allow the experiences of betrayal, misunderstanding, and carelessness to transform into clarity, strength, and resilience. And know that I am with you in every step, every breath, every heartbeat. I am guiding the unfolding of your life with precision, love, and divine foresight. Nothing you have experienced has been wasted. Every tear, every ache, every pang of disappointment has been shaping you into the person you are meant to become, a person of radiant integrity, unshakable worth, and undeniable light. Go forward now, my beloved child, with courage, with faith, and with peace. Walk in truth, speak with clarity, and love with discernment. The world will see your light, your heart will attract what is aligned with it, and your spirit will remain untouchable by anything that does not serve your highest good. You are ready for the fullness of your destiny. You are ready to receive the recognition, the honor, and the love that is truly yours. And I, your God, am with you every step of the way, guiding, protecting, and blessing you in ways that are profound, eternal, and perfectly aligned with your soul.